somebody called me up in 2007 and said, would you like to come and work for As Seen on Screen? And I was like, what is that? I have no idea. Really, the rest is history. Hi, I'm Vanessa Spence and I am Senior Creative Director at ASOS.com. I would tell my younger self, do not get fixated on one role or one particular sort of career path. Like, my career path has changed. Although I've stayed in fashion, my degree was in accessories. If anybody asked me, like, at that point, do you think you'd ever be a creative director looking after a marketing creative team, I would have said no. So my biggest advice is just keep open. Definitely the early parts of your career, it's all about learning. The Dots. So this is more of a creative website, so it's about connecting creative professionals together as well as like posting job opportunities as well. So I'd suggest that's a really good one to check out. Personally, I like a really clean, clear CV. White paper, black text. If you imagine, we'll get hundreds, thousands of applications sometimes for a role. The main thing I think to make your CV stand out is that it's really clear, it's concise, you've checked your spelling, you've checked your grammar, you have a really clear opening, like a profile that talks to who you are and also what you can bring to the role and what your kind of skill set is. My big advice to anybody is don't just go on LinkedIn or read their company profile. It's really easy to do that. Anyone can do that. What somebody in an interview wants to see is like your take on their business. What's your opinion? What do you think? Do you think there's any opportunities that they're missing? So think slightly outside the box and yeah, don't just read Wikipedia. Definitely in the creative space, I always say, particularly as a graduate, if you really think about the brand that you're going for the interview with, does your portfolio, does your work match that brand? If it doesn't, do a mini project. It doesn't have to be huge. It could be one page. It could just be a list of opportunities that you think they're missing, things that they could do, but just something that really shows that you do understand that brand and you've really thought about that. And I'd also potentially put it at the front of your portfolio as well. So something to really capture and engage them right from the start. Anything that says things like wearing many hats, I'd watch out for. I would potentially contact and ask them for more clarity. I think for you to be able to succeed in any job role, you need to understand and know what's required of that role. I definitely have tips for online interviews. So imagine an online interview is like an in-person interview. You shouldn't really treat it any different. You show up like you were going to show up to an office. So you show up early, so you get on to that, whatever it is, Teams, Zoom, whatever call, slightly early. The other thing I'd say is please practice beforehand. Like, there are so many different platforms that people use. Make sure that you're familiar with it, you know how to work your sound, you know also how to like share a document if you need to share anything. The other thing I'd say, just in case, because we all know what tech's like and sometimes it can fail, why not just send, if you are sharing something, send it on beforehand so the person's got it there in their inbox just in case anything doesn't work on the day. We've all been rejected from jobs at some point. That's normal, so don't get deterred, don't be put off by that. I think the main thing is, especially if you've had the opportunity to have an interview, try and get feedback to understand like what could you have done differently, what can you learn from that experience so that you would in the future, you can apply that, and when you apply for your next role, maybe tailor it slightly differently. I think the achievement I'm most proud of is where I am right now. So I think, being a black woman on the ASOS exec board is, a real achievement that I'm super proud of. If you'd asked me at 13, I'm sure actually, even if you'd asked my teachers at 13, would I achieve this? they definitely wouldn't have thought that I'd achieved this. So I think for me to be able to have done this with, you know, the support of, you know, my family, but also with lots of personal drive. Just be aware that you will probably fail at some point, or there's something that won't go quite how you want it to go. You know, I know definitely from my point of view, like I've learned probably more from the things that haven't gone right as much as the things that have gone right for me. So I think it's a really positive experience where things do go wrong. You learn, and then that helps you to know what you want to do then also in the future, and what you do and what you don't want from a role.